Hey, am I red or are you blue? You're red, right?
Yes, I'm red.
Been a while.
I'm red, you're blue. I am red all over and you're blue all over.
Are you ready to record?
I am ready. We are live to the internets.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first Disney Parks podcast for 2016. My name is Park Hopper John. I come to you from www.parkhoppers.com. Joining me across the internets is the wise and all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful Tony Casanova from DisneyByTheNumbers.com.
Welcome to a new year, my friends.
It's a new year.
It all starts here.
It all starts here, January 5th.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting. A lot of interesting things happening all over. Of course, the entire Park Hopper headquarters is sick. So if I sound kind of gross, I apologize, but it's very interesting.
You want to recap your Christmas, New Year's?
Oh, we can.
In a couple of sentences.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about it in detail.
Sleep, Christmas, Star Wars, and sleep.
New Jersey, shorts, Christmas, fish, Star Wars, back to Florida.
Yeah.
It's nothing like spending Christmas Eve in New Jersey in shorts.
No, it's just like living in Florida in Christmas.
Right.
We were in shorts. So
exactly.
We can also share with everybody that we had a great New Year's Eve dinner at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge. That was amazing. Yeah. So good. So I had buffalo for the very first time. It was outstanding.
Yeah. Buffalo is good for you. Buffalo and bison. Because it's a leaner meat than beef.
Yes, I've had bison before, but I've never had buffalo. It was outstanding, and had a great time. Got to hang out with you and Mom. That was fun.
Yeah,
and it was a good time. Got home safely. No major issues.
So let me ask you, how long did it take you to get off of Disney's property since they had everything shut down again? Let me ask the question. Go ahead, tell us.
All right.
Tell the listeners how much fun it is to get off a property on New Year's Eve.
Since we've decided that this will be a family-friendly show, it was okay. So I was too smart. I was too smart for my own good.
Yeah,
and I think you were with me on that.
Yeah.
Because had we just when you pull out of Wilderness Lodge, you have the choice of either turning right and going back through the Fort Wilderness back road, or
that's the boulevard,
right? Or you can go straight and you can go through what is just now a horrible mess because of the way that they're doing the entrance into the Polynesian Resort.
Right.
So you're just stuck no matter which way you go. So I was being smart and I thought, well, I'll just go the back way.
Sure.
Go right down, pop onto Buena Vista Boulevard, hop on I-4, hop on the road right there. Yeah. Easy peasy, I'm on I-4.
Yeah, sure. I-4 is like 2 minutes away from there.
Yeah. So what Disney did is they basically made it to where you were having to drive in a big circle.
Yes.
And they only allowed entry onto I-4 in key spots. So had I...
Celebration.
Yes, Celebration. World Drive.
Yep.
Or Osceola.
Right.
You could not make a left turn at all. It was just like living in New Jersey. Yeah. And so we instead of taking the time to go through like we're going to the Polynesian, had we done that, we would have been on I-4 in 15 to 20 minutes.
Because when I was looking at that, I was like, they have everything. They were forcing all the traffic in the left-hand lane and shut down the whole right-hand. I said, I don't even want to go that way. I don't even know what they're doing there.
Right.
And I don't want to drive on the wrong side of the road, even though they were allowing everybody. I said, that just looks like it's trouble waiting to happen.
Right.
So I went the same way you went. It took me over 45 minutes to get off of Disney property, which is a record for New Year's Eve because the last time it took me 2 hours. So I did shorten, but I I couldn't even tell you how I got onto, because I take 417. I don't even know how I got onto 417.
Right.
After a while, it just turned on my GPS and I said, now you figure out how to get me home, because now I don't care.
Well, normally,
and every trooper that I passed that had a roadblock, I gave him the salute. And I'm not talking the salute.
Right.
I was like, I don't know why. I'd love to talk to somebody at Disney or the state troopers and say, can you explain to me why you shut down the roads and make everybody? That is, I think, more dangerous to limit the access to the roads than to let everybody just use the roads. Everybody knows how to get over. There's signs that point to all the highways. Just let us go the way we know. Right.
And it was really bad because once you get to, I can never remember the name of that road that takes you to Golden Oak. What is the name of that road?
It runs Vista Boulevard.
Vista Boulevard dumps out right on Buena Vista.
Bonnet Creek. Bonnet Creek. Is that Bonnet Creek? Bonnet Creek to Buena Vista.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So normally when you get to that major intersection, if you want to go to Disney Springs, you just shag that left and you're right there.
Right. Boom.
Or you take.
You couldn't even do that because they had that road closed.
No. So normally you take a right, you go underneath the highway, you do, the loop-de-loop, and then you're on the road that dumps you out on I-4.
Yeah. And I just go straight right onto 417 from there.
Right. Well, they shut that down.
Right.
So then I kept going. I thought, okay, well, the next best option is to get on and go down by Art of Animation.
Right.
Jump on Osceola, dumps you right on I-4. Nope, no left turn there either. So if I was staying at Pop Century Art of Animation, I'd be furious because I'd have to go all the way down.
I know.
It's mind-numbing. So then the next major intersection was the Epcot resorts. Right. That was a cluster mess. And then you're at World Drive.
Yep.
And they were cutting off certain lanes of World Drive. I thought, holy crap, I'm going to have to go all the way down to the far end to Osceola and jump on there. Nope. Yeah. I was allowed to get on World Drive. And once I got on World Drive, there was nobody.
Yeah.
We were all doing like 70.
Yeah, sure. Because everybody's still in the park, so they're still, wherever. Because I left there at 11:11. I don't think I got on a highway or 417 till about almost midnight. Yeah. And I was like, that's crazy. I made it home, I think, around 12:03.
I think we got home about quarter to one.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Yeah. I would definitely love to, and maybe I'll see if I can get somebody either from Disney or the state troopers. Could you tell me why you shut down? Because I'm baffled. I'm baffled. I'm thinking as an egress, if there was an emergency and they had all these roads shut down, there was no way they could have gotten all of the traffic that would have dumped from the parks out safely. There's just no way. There's no way. It wouldn't have been possible.
Well, anyway, that was our New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that was New Year's Eve.
I had a great time.
Somebody, a wise woman, Linda, once said to me, "Why don't you guys just stay?" You know what, Linda? I think we've suffered enough. We may want to stay one of these years.
Yeah, I might do that. That would be nice.
But here's the thing. So if you do stay and you're in a park for New Year's Eve, do you really want to get on a bus from a park at midnight after the fireworks to try and get back to, I don't know where? I mean, it would just take forever. And then you'd still be stuck in the same situation with your car, even if you say, oh, I'll drive to the park, I'll drive to TTC, and then I'll drive back to the resort. You can't get there from there.
Yeah, because they weren't giving buses special privilege.
Yeah.
It was, you were all in it to win it.
Yeah. So anyway.
Right. So that was kind of our fun. I mean, we talk about it, but we really had a good time.
Yeah, we still had a good time. It just
had a great time.
Yeah. It just baffles me that they do those crazy things.
Yeah, and that's Disney for you. Yeah. So anyway, before we get into the news, we do want to let you guys know, thank you for listening to a couple knuckleheads rant and rave about traffic And but we do want to say thank you for listening and welcome to the Disney Parks Podcast. We encourage you to come over to DisneyParksPodcast.com, which is the hub for all of our information. Over there, you can find all sorts of blog posts, links to our old shows, links to some of our classic shows. You can also find a link to our newsletter. We would encourage you to sign up. Those go out every week with full of great information. It's how you can find out when our blabs are, which are usually Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. Mm-hmm. You can watch us record live, and then you get a whole bunch of extra stuff, like the people who listened before we recorded this that were listening to our show prep production. Yeah. That was thrilling. And we want to encourage you to sign up for that. And we got a lot of really cool things planned. And people who read the newsletters are going to be beneficiaries of some really cool stuff. And then you can find us on Facebook at Disney Parks Podcast. You can find us on Twitter, Disney Podcaster. And the other thing that we would ask before we really get into it is, if you're listening to us on iTunes, please rate us, review us, let us know how we're doing. That helps us. We would love to see the Disney Parks Podcast up on the front page. That would be mega awesome. And we would appreciate you taking the time to do that. And so with that, my friend, let's get into the news.
All right. First up, I have not been here to this new dining place, but I'm excited because they opened up a new place to dine in the Magic Kingdom. I think this is probably one park that needs the most new restaurants out of all of them. So my 2016 resolution would be, Disney, build more restaurants in the Magic Kingdom, because I think this place is in desperate need. Or how about this, Disney? Open the ones that you keep shut. Tomorrowland Terrace, Tortuga, Diamond Horseshoe. Just a suggestion, Disney. Don't build new. Just open up the ones you have, and then you'd be okay.
Right.
But anyway, if you are a Jungle Cruise fan, you are going to love the new Skipper Canteen, which opened. This is the Jungle Navigation Company Limited Skipper Canteen, and it opened on December 16th at the Magic Kingdom. Have you been, John, yet?
I have not been to the Magic Kingdom since last we spoke.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sensing a field trip here.
Yes, definitely.
This is just steps away from the legendary Jungle Cruise attraction. You can enjoy the bold flavor tastes of Asia, South America, and Africa at this new 222-seat table service restaurant staffed by the wisecracking crew of the Jungle Navigation Company, Ltd. I will say that's got to be interesting. I hope they do the skipper jokes on land now.
Yeah.
Is that right?
So.
The Jungle Skipper Cantina touts an adventurous menu with some new and interesting dishes inspired by the exotic flavors of the rivers traveled on the Jungle Cruise. You can try head-on shrimp or sustainable fish collar, or stick with delicious familiar tastes such as grilled steak, pork tenderloin, or chicken breast. The Disney dining plan is accepted right now. And tables in Wonderland, I hear yes they are, no they're not, yes they are. So I think it just depends on the day of the week and the skipper you get on whether or not they'll take it. And reservations are not available at this time, which I think is kind of good for a new restaurant. Just let it happen, let the walk-ups go, and then, sometime in the future, hopefully they'll take reservations. They are open for lunch and dinner right now too.
Nice.
So, you don't have to just go for dinner. It's lunch and dinner. Right. So I've heard all good things so far. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and Magic Kingdom needed some new places to eat.
I agree, especially sit down. Especially sit down, not so much the table service. Like Tortuga and Tomorrowland Terrace are,
Right, and you got Pecos Bills.
And
then you've got the Cosmic Rays with Cosmic Ray, whatever his name is.
Actually, Pecos Bill, when were we in there? We were in there for something. And they don't have burgers or
it's all traditional Tex-Mex stuff.
Yeah, which I just thought. Right around the corner is Tortuga, which you get the same thing now. Maybe they're serving burgers over there now. Maybe they
Tortuga's,
switched.
Tortuga's serving something a little different. It's
Mexican?
No, it's a little bit more health. I want to say, when I remember, slightly healthier.
Oh.
Salads and stuff.
I know they got rid of the taco salad, which made everybody upset.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So, I'm very glad that, Disney's bringing in some new stuff. They, like you said, they could stand to open up what they've got. And I think that would be cool. I think it'd be cool to have like a rodeo type, the horseshoe.
Yeah, sure.
I think that'd be awesome.
I understand it's very small inside there. I get that. But still in all, they had it set up. The last time I was in there, that I actually got food. It was like a buffet. So up on the bar, they had a couple of options of food. Rather than table service, they just had food, which I thought was fine for that space. Did you talk about the Magic Kingdom? Did you see that picture that was out on the internet of the swarm? It's hard to see. Swarm of people.
Yes.
Taken from Tinkerbell.
That totally legal picture. Allegedly. Right.
Allegedly Tinkerbell.
Right.
I just want to say one thing. No way. There is no way I would have been in that crowd. Ever, never, no way. That is just insane.
Yeah.
If something ever happened, sorry, people, the body count would be enormous. I hate to say it.
Well, I think
that's the part that scares me the most.
Yeah, but some of the improvements they've made with the hub, they have to have an evacuation plan. So basically, the story behind the picture is there's a photo that was taken the week of Christmas. I don't think it was New Year's. It was the week of Christmas.
It was the week of Christmas.
And supposedly, allegedly, it was taken by Tinkerbell in the top of the Cinderella Castle right before she flew.
She launches.
Yeah, from the castle to her landing place, which has traditionally been
two mattresses leaned up against the wall.
2 mattresses and 5 or 6 cast members to catch him or her. So, and so basically what it was is this ridiculous picture of all the people taking pictures and video of the castle, and it's just this sea of humanity all the way up into deep into Main Street USA.
Yeah.
And the thing that's just amazing is there's so many people at that spot. And we've heard the reason that we're allegedly is because there's been people saying, well, that wasn't real. And that wasn't taken by a cast member, because if it's a cast member taking that photo, they're fired. They're fired.
I mean, they would know who took that picture. I mean,
right.
It's not like 18, cast members could be up there taking that picture. There's one.
Yeah,
I think they know who it is.
1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think
the one that pushes and the one that's Tinkerbell.
Yes. The pusher and the pushy.
Yeah, right. So we'll post the picture maybe on the blog or part of the show notes, so that people can see, what we're talking about, and make a judgment for yourself. It's
it's a tremendous shot.
Sure. Yeah, it's a very interesting shot.
The only other thing is it might be, I don't want to say this to give you the wrong impression. It might be a leaked security image.
Sure. It could be that too.
That would probably seem to be a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is more on center of the castle than it is the position of where Tink would be. She's off center. And I would believe that it'd be more of a secure. And if that is a security image,
so darn fine security images.
That person's fired as well.
Fire them all. Fire everybody.
Yeah.
Be Donald Trump. You fired.
Yeah. Before we get on to the next thing, talk about kind of controversy things. There was the story that Disney was charging for parking at some of the resorts.
Yeah.
They were testing parking.
Mm-hmm.
And, I had posted the story on my 2 Disney by the Number Facebook accounts, and both of them blew up.
Right.
There must have been close to 100 comments on both of them. Here's my spin on that as a local. I don't care because I don't park there because I'm usually not going to a park. I'm usually going to a place to eat first and then maybe possibly going to a park. And my parking's free either way. It's either free at the park or it's free at the resort. So I'm not dodging the $17 bullet. Now, if I am here as a guest and I am trying to dodge the $17 bullet, well, then yes, I think maybe we need to charge or figure out a way to not have people park at the resorts. And I get it as a resort guest. You get back to the resort and some guy that's here says, well, the parking lot's full. You got to go park, somewhere over there. That would be troubling, especially if you got a family and a lot of small kids that
Sure.
you'd have to, lug across the street or whatever. So, it's a problem that I think they have to address, but I don't know if charging for parking is the method that would, change people's habits.
Right.
We
had an interesting time actually getting into the resort, and it's the one resort you don't normally have a hard time getting into on New Year's. And the person was she was just doing her job, and I'm not ragging on her, and it's not personal, and I'm not going to say anything personal, but she was just very, the security's kind of tight. And normally what happens is you drive up to the guard shack and you show your ID and you give them a reason why you're there. We're going to the bar, or we're going to meet up with friends and have dinner, or, we have reservations.
Yeah.
And I said, we have reservations. So who's the reservation under? And I said, Castle Nova, because T had made the reservation.
Yeah.
And she says, so why are you showing me your ID? Because your last name is not Castle Nova. And I said,
you asked me what name the reservation was under.
I said, you asked me to name the reservation.
Question number 2.
And I said, I just want to show my ID because I always have to show my ID. She says, well, I can't let you in because your last name's not Castle Nova. I said, so you mean to tell me that the only reservations that you get are from people with all the same last names?
Yeah.
Great. And so luckily, my wife, who was infinitely smarter than I am, had pulled it up on our My Disney app.
Yeah.
And because we were part of that, she said, well, it's a good thing you have that or else I couldn't let you in. And I'm like, seriously?
Wait a minute. So her train of thinking was, if I make a reservation for 13, everybody in that party all has to have the same last name?
Either that or they're staying on property. Either that or they're taking Disney transportation in.
Yeah.
All that being said, I understand that parking at the resorts is an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I totally get that.
Yeah, I do too.
But on the other hand, I hate to say this, and this is going to sound really putsy of me, and as a shareholder, I probably shouldn't say this, but when you charge $17 to park your car every day at a theme park that's then the most expensive theme park in the world,
right,
to go visit, what do you expect?
Yeah.
$17 is, a burger and a drink and, maybe a kid's meal.
Yeah. Here's my thing. The way to get around that $17 and the pole parking thing is included in the price of the ticket.
Right.
Nobody be the wiser. Next year, just raise it to $117 and shut down the turnstiles.
Right.
And make them go away. And then you don't have the problem anymore. Because you know what? You've already collected your money. It doesn't matter if they go to the Magic Kingdom, the Hollywood Studios, or wherever they go. Each ticket will have its own built-in price for parking.
Right.
If you don't park there, that's your problem. That's too bad. We've already charged you. We've already included your car in the parking, Right. And that'd be one way. And as a local, there's 100 reasons I could go to a resort and not have to eat there. Or, I could go for a drink. I'm meeting John there. I'm meeting another guest there. I'm meeting, going just to take some pictures. I'm walking around the resort or, whatever. So,
and ultimately that's who it hurts is primarily the locals. Yeah, there's always going to be people who try to game the system. Totally get that.
Yeah.
But it's going to hurt the locals the most. And in and of itself, it's not a big deal. But then you look at the backlog of evidence where it seems to be that Disney doesn't really want locals there. You know, if you're not staying here for vacation, we really don't want you here.
Yeah. Right.
You know, so if you're not staying here on property, then, you know, you can't go into a resort unless you have a reservation. Yeah. Or you have to drive all over Tarnation because, well, if you use Disney transportation, we've shut some roads down that, you know, you know.
Yeah.
So
and there's a lot of things to do at a resort.
Right.
That, you know, we tell people all the time, you know, go for the boating, go for the, you know, whatever, go for the resort tour or whatever it is. There's a lot of things to do at these different resorts. And if you tell me I can't get in, I got to go park at TTC and take a monorail, or I got to go, I don't know, park at Disney Springs and take the bus over. That's just going to be crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. But here's the thing. So why I was saying that is I'm still interested to know, you know, what everybody thinks. You know, if you want, you can email us at DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com or hit us up on Facebook, Disney Podcast, or Twitter, or whatever it is. But I'm still interested to know what everybody thinks because I have a feeling that it's going to happen, at least in the deluxe resorts as a good trial.
Right.
And then maybe trickle down to the others. Maybe they don't care about, you know, Art of Animation because it's out in the middle of nowhere. And they really don't care. Maybe they don't have a park. Who parks at Art of Animation go to the Magic Kingdom?
Right.
That's probably a 1%er.
Right.
You know, I think the Contemporary's got the biggest problem because of their proximity.
Yeah, all three of those resorts do.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know.
So let us know. That's my thing. I'm really interested. I still think this is going to be an interesting topic this year, and we'll have to see how it plays out in 2016.
Yep.
You know.
All right. So a few weeks ago, we talked about the construction for either Star Wars Land or Toy Story Land was causing some closures over at Hollywood Studios. One of the closures to make room for this new launch bay was the animation animation courtyard and Art of Animation area in Hollywood Studios. And they had a lot of really cool meet and greets that we were very disappointed that they were losing. And then Disney's recently made the announcement that Baymax is coming to the Epcot character spot. Located in Innoventions West, the character spot is expanding to offer guests opportunity to meet even more of their Disney character friends. Guests will now be able to meet Baymax, everyone's favorite personal healthcare companion from Disney's Big Hero 6. In addition to Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, and Goofy, they will also continue to greet guests on the opposite side of the breezeway. And Chip and Dale can be found just around the outside corner. Whoever gets stuck being the friend of Chip and Dale, now you have to go outside. That sucks for you. Yeah. The character spot is open from the time the park opens until it closes. You can also get Disney Fast Passes for that as well. It's great because it's air conditioned, it's quiet, and you can spend some time really hanging out there unless they just start churning people through. But that's great that Baymax is back. I was really concerned because I really do love that character meet and greet. It was really worth it.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to have this whole nice little...
I hope so.
You know,
yeah.
The backdrop. I hope they do. I hope they, have that backdrop there. Hey, now would be a good time to mention Mr. Donahue on the other side of the internet has also published a book and is now a Disney author.
Yes. Yeah, I couldn't let you go that long, my friend.
Welcome to the world of Disney publishing.
Yes, and
Disney authors.
It's not all me. I co-wrote. I had two other friends helping. David Sloan from Key West did a lot of the heavy lifting on that one. He is known for his bucket list books. He had a great idea, and he presented the idea to myself and Rick Howard from Kingdom Magic Vacations and Travel with Rick fame. We pooled all of our resources. We came up with the Disney bucket list, and it's going to be a series of books. And the first one we did was obviously Magic Kingdom, and that was released December. I don't know, first couple weeks of December we got it out, and it's done really, really well. It's It's basically 100 different ways that you can experience the Magic Kingdom in a way that you might not have done before, because we give you a bucket list goal to do, and we give you a little bit of a fun fact so you can learn a little bit about what you're doing. Give you an area to check that off if you want to put a picture there or whatever. It's just, it's just a different spin on a really great idea.
Yeah.
And we have that available over on Amazon.
Right.
Look up Disney Bucket List.
Right.
And it's the one with the top hat on it.
Okay. Now, if somebody wanted a signed copy.
Yes, we have not gotten that part squared away yet. If they want a signed copy, you can buy one and find me. Or just email me and I'll figure it out. And you can email me at parkhopperjohn at www.parkhoppers.com, or questions. Is it questions at Disney Parks Podcast?
No, just Disney Parks Podcast at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Dude, when you're...
Because I've already gotten the question from somebody who said, well, how do I get John to sign the book?
If you shoot me an email, I can get you a signed copy. I can get you a signed copy.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Very good. So that's a book number 2. You're an author. I'm an author. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Now we're done. Time to go home.
Taking the world by storm. One page.
Taking the one book at a time.
Yes. And I'm very proud of it. Very happy.
Yeah. Good for you.
Thanks.
Good for you.
Thanks.
All right. Next up, over at Epcot, the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival is now open at Epcot. So out went Captain EO again. You're fired the second time.
Right.
And in comes the Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. So this new experience will feature a look into the visionary minds behind some of the world's most iconic animated films today. Once inside the theater, guests can put on their 3D glasses and enter the imaginative worlds of 3 animated shorts. Get a Horse, For the Birds, and La Luna, which will burst to life on the big screen and in the theater like never before. Disney Pixar Short Film is now open at Future World in Epcot. Now, our friend Diane went and said that some of the characters actually come out on the stage.
Get out.
That's what I said.
Who knew?
Get out. I was shocked. So I said, is it like a meet and greet? She says, no, it's kind of like, Muppet, where they show the movie, and then like, what's his name?
Tiny.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. And he kind of, so it's kind of like that. I said, wow. I said, that's fantastic.
That's great.
So, yeah. So I thought it was interesting that they used 2 Pixar and 1 Disney. I think they're really pushing this Get a Horse cartoon short for some reason. I'm not sure why yet.
Yeah. Well, we saw it at D23 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it was pretty astounding then. I thought it was pretty amazing. But, it's cool. I think it's cool for a lot of different reasons. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give it away because if you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it for you. But it's pretty freaking awesome. Yeah. And it actually has the voice of Walt.
Right.
So
now, For the Birds was an interesting choice. That is not one of my favorite Pixar shorts. La Luna was very good. We saw that at the beginning of, I don't know what Pixar movie. I can't remember that far back in my life. Yeah. But there are other Pixar shorts that I would have liked to have seen. I would have liked almost maybe to see the original Tin Toy.
Yeah.
On a big screen 3D. I thought that would have been interesting. But I'm glad that they're putting these things out there. Listen, there's nothing else to put in that theater, really. I mean, what else? Besides gutting it and redoing it, I guess this is a good thing to have right now. And Soarin's closed, so you got nothing and nothing,
Right.
Just don't go to the right-hand side of the park anymore.
Yeah, no, don't. Okay. Well, pretty soon they'll have the 6 months worth of flower and garden festival.
Yeah.
So they'll have that going for them in their butterfly nets.
Yeah. I don't know. It may be a good place to eat now at the land. There may be less people in there.
Yep.
So keep that in mind if you're.
You mean you don't want to go to the Circle of Life, the propaganda movie?
No, thanks.
You sure?
Positive.
Darn.
Yeah. All right. Another one of our friends, Magic Your Band. I was just talking to Matt today on the internet, and the carbon fiber bands that they came out seem to be very, very popular. So if you're looking to get one of these nice new carbon fiber bands that they introduced, I think a couple weeks ago, you'll want to do that. You can go to magicyourband.com. At checkout, put in Disney Parks Podcast, and you will get 10% off. He also told me that they got a lot of new things coming this year.
Cool.
They got a brand new Franking printer again that can do things that the old one couldn't do.
Really?
So this is going to introduce some new things that you will not have seen before.
Cool.
With your Magic Band. So go to magicyourband.com, coupon code Disney Parks Podcast. Now, one other thing while we're talking about Magic Bands, I ordered the new infamous purple one. And I will tell you this. This new Magic Band is not the old Magic Band.
Really?
Much, much thinner.
Oh.
Much more flexible and a much more softer rubber. I'm like, when you put the Magic Band on, it kind of like sat off your wrist because it didn't actually curve. Not anymore, my friends. Nice and rounded and flexible and soft. I said, I don't actually mind wearing this thing now.
You sucker.
Completely thinner, nicer Magic Band, and still the same price of $12.95.
Oh, well, there's that. So is it the same size as far as like dimensions for the Magic Your Band stickers?
Yes. Yeah. Everything is all the same, except that it's just the rubber's thinner and it's a little bit more flexible, so that when it goes on your wrist, it actually goes on your wrist. So it'll be interesting to see if they use these, for. I don't know if they had to use this kind because these are the ones that they were feeding into the printer to print on. So is the one that I get, from, when I order it online for my annual pass, is it going to be the same or is it going to be these newer ones? I don't know.
I'm sure that they're going with the newer ones because there's less material.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So I'd have to say go try it. I didn't have anything printed on mine. I just wanted my purple band so that I can put on whatever I want, like one of Magic Your Band's bands. Or my own concoction or whatever I want to put on.
Right. Well, good for you, my friend. I'm very happy that was a purchase that makes you happy. Speaking of things that make me happy, Star Wars.
Yes.
Star Wars Juggernaut continues. I'm very excited that
We're getting close.
It domestically, it's already beat Avatar. Domestically, it's already beat Avatar. And they did it within, I think it took Avatar 70, 73, 76 days to do that. It's taken Disney
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it opens in China on the 9th.
Oh, there you go. Double your money.
Well, yes and no.
It's what, like
Star Wars? The
20
Star Wars
trillion people there?
Yeah, but Star Wars has not traditionally done super well over in China. But still, I mean, once that opens up and, they get a hold of it, I think they're going to dig it. I just hope it pushes.
So am I on track to my prediction of double Avatar?
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
You don't think I'll double my you don't think it'll do double Avatar?
To double Avatar, it would have to make almost $5 billion.
Well, if it beat it in 3 weeks, can't we? Another 3 weeks should be able to double it.
Well, it might, but not everybody. It can't. It can't do that in 3 weeks. I mean, the opening box office was what, 175 million.
I don't know. Well, I know it broke like 22 records.
Yeah, it was 88. It held last weekend at 88 million.
Mm.
So it's going to get smaller and smaller, but still, if it can keep raking in money, Who cares? I just wanted to beat Avatar. That's just my own
Yeah,
personal.
I did
I,
too.
I would love for it to double it, but
I'm hoping for double. I really want that to happen.
right.
I want to go. Na 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 na. I told you so, Disney. Da,
Right.
da, da, da.
So that being said,
Yes.
for those Star Wars fans out there, Symphony in the Stars, a galactic spectacular dessert party, actually started as we record this tonight on January 5th. Starting on the 5th, a continuing nightly, unbelievable. Now they're doing it nightly through March 19th at Disney's Hollywood Studios. You can tempt your sweet tooth with a special dessert party that's out of this galaxy. Symphony in the Stars, a galactic spectacular dessert party, say that 10 times fast, can be booked now by calling 407-939-3463 or visiting DisneyWorld.com. With something for every Sith or Jedi, the party includes Star Wars-themed desserts, including the now famous Darth Vader cupcake, a souvenir Chewbacca Stein, sorry, and a selection of alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. I'm sure they're going to have blue milk. And with an up-close view of Symphony in the Stars, a galactic spectacular. We have not done this yet, but it is high up on my list of things because my wife is a huge Star Wars nut. So I'm excited about this.
I'm assuming the price is $99.
It's either 99 or 69.
Oh, okay. 69 would be better.
Yeah, I think it's 69 for a dessert party. It's 69, 99 for a breakfast, probably. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's cool. And I know that we don't really have this on the list or anything. How did you feel about Disney expanding the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights by a few nights and keeping it till Wednesday?
Yeah, I think that was a good idea.
I do too.
Yeah, I think they're having a hard time letting go themselves. I really do.
Yeah, I wish they keep it a little longer. Just 3 days didn't seem like a lot, but
I'd just keep it to the end of the month. That would be my thing. I mean, you can throw it in the garbage anyway. What's an extra 30 days?
Right.
And get rid of the cast members. Just leave it. Turn them on. Leave it alone. Let it be. For 30 days. You're not going to harm it. There's nothing to do there at night anyway.
Right. I thought at least until you absolutely have to tear it down, just put some new music on it.
Yeah. Well, maybe they have to shoot these fireworks off.
Maybe. I get that. I understand that.
Yeah.
Well, no, because the fireworks start on Tuesday, and the Osborne Family Lights last night is Wednesday.
Yeah, but if they were to keep it going to, say, the end of the month or a couple extra weeks, I guess they can't because of the fireworks. Because they shut down all of Toy Story area and all the back areas.
Oh, fair enough.
That's where they light off all the fireworks from. I don't know.
All right.
Would have been nice. But talking about Star Wars, you want to talk about the movie? We really didn't have that on the list either. What you?
We don't. Why don't we save that for at the end? Because I just we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hang on, six more news stories to get through.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we get through the news.
Get the news, and if we have to, we can always cut it off.
Right.
Chop it off. All right. Next up, over at the Animal Kingdom, we got the Thirsty River Bar, and Trek Snacks is now open. The Trek Snacks menu varies throughout the day. It's not even the same for the day. With delicious pastries in the morning and then more sustainable bites like sushi and sandwiches in the afternoon and evening. Pastries include assorted muffins and danishes, croissants, and other indulgent chocolate twists. Healthful,
easy for you to say.
Healthful snacks like fresh fruit, crudité, and hummus, edamame, and an Asian noodle salad are available. At the Thirsty River Bar, look for specialty cocktails such as the Kanbui Icefall, Himalayan Ghost, and the Durbar Margarita. And also, non-alcoholic drinks are available. So here we go. Another little bar is open in the Animal Kingdom. I am sure this is going to be right near the seating area for the Rivers of Light, which will be opening soon, so that we can all get our cocktails before we go inside.
Yes, because especially the Thirsty River Bar is definitely, Kumbu, Icefall, Himalayan Ghost, and the Durbar Margarita. That definitely screams Asia to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I think that's great. The more the merrier. The question is this replacing what they had, the ice cream shop there, or is this
I'm not sure.
something new? I tell you, the holidays get here, and I just do not go to the parks.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen this. So I
haven't
don't
been there either.
I hate that I'm that podcaster, but I kind of am. I haven't been there.
Yeah.
But we'll go soon. You're due to make your yearly trek.
Yeah, my annual trip to the Animal Kingdom.
Nice.
Put it on the list, baby.
Right. Well, keeping our news in the Animal Kingdom, we've got some new food and beverage kiosks to get some new names. Some of the food and beverage kiosks around Animal Kingdom have brand new official names. The new names will be reflected in the My Disney experience and on guide maps. The following kiosks will have transitioned to new names as soon as Disney gets around to it. So Terra Treats on Discovery Island was previously known locally as the Allergy Kiosk.
Yay.
Do you have an allergy? No, you want one? Oh, yeah, just go to the Allergy Kiosk over there. Notice two finger pointing and everything.
Right.
The Mahindi in Africa, previously known locally as the Harambe Popcorn Cart. Caravan Road in Asia was previously known locally as Bradley Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Warung Outpost in Asia is previously known as the Upcountry. Chakran, oh my God.
I can't even say that.
Chakranadi.
Chakranadi.
Sorry. Chakranadi
Chakran.
in Asia is previously known locally as a Maharaja Pretzel. Eight Spoons Cafe on Discovery Island is previously known as Beastly Kiosk. The Smiling Crocodile was previously known as the Garden Kiosk. Feeding Ground on Discovery Island is previously known locally as the
I'm sensing a trend.
DI Popcorn.
Discovery Island things have all changed.
Yeah, Discovery Island is huge. A lot of really cool things happening out there. So
yeah, well, I think they're getting ready for Rivers of Light.
Right. Right.
Which will be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right.
Anything to add some more interesting to that place?
Right. Yeah. The next news story, I'm actually kind of glad because I've been hitting the gonads with many of these items from kids.
Sorry to hear that, I think.
So there's a new policy update for Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, and John just disappeared. Please stay tuned. We're having technical difficulties while John figures out why his camera's not on.
I told you I was sick.
Oh, you're sick, all right, my friend.
Sorry, I apologize. I was reaching for a throat lozenge, and I hit the right keyboard setting and I refreshed my screen. Sorry, for those of you guys watching live, I apologize. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
So the next one is actually something that's I think a good thing. It's a policy update for Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts, and I think they did this globally. I don't think it's just here in the States. I think they did this at all parks and resorts throughout the world to ensure that these items do not cause a distraction or confusion for our cast members and security personnel in the parks. They will no longer sell toy guns, including toy blasters, squirt guns on Disneyland or Walt Disney World Resort properties. Additionally, guests ages 14 and older will no longer be permitted to wear costumes in the park. In addition to the screening processes already in place at the entrance of the theme parks, guests will be randomly selected for a secondary screening using a metal detector. Full park rules and regulations are posted online at http://disneyworld.com at disneyworld.disney.go.com/park-rules/. So if you want to get the full things there. And the metal detectors, I am not sure if those are going to stay. I have a feeling they're going to go eventually, but they're going to stay. I'll just give you my 2 cents on the metal detectors. I heard a couple different things. One, I heard it was random. They started random, and then everybody was going through, and then they went back to random. I don't know, what did that. The company they're using was the same as Universal and SeaWorld. They all 3 parks in Central Florida hired the same company. I think it's CSC event staff to do their metal detectors. My theory is they wanted a third party to do this so they had plausible deniability. If something happened in the park with a metal device, call it a gun or a knife or whatever, Disney and all the other parks could say, well, we hired them, they're to blame, see them, we did not do it, our security was over there, they were doing it over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's my 2 cents on that. There's a lot of people that say that they should stay because things have gotten crazy. I think like a couple of weeks before these were installed, somebody was in the Magic Kingdom with a gun.
Right.
So
hang on. Name one time before that.
The Animal Kingdom guy.
How long ago was that?
Probably a year ago.
Okay. Before that.
Wait. It's a year ago that we know. We don't know. Listen, Disney does not tell us all the times the guns are caught in the parks.
True. But why this time?
I think because the sheriffs were involved.
Well, I have a lot of
and
friends.
Once the sheriff gets involved, it's on the sheriff radio, which all the news people listen to,
right.
And that's how it gets out. If the sheriffs are not involved, if it's just Disney security, well, I can tell you this for a fact: it's not going to be in the news. Disney's not calling the news and going, "Hey, Wesh, hey, we caught somebody with a gun in the Magic Kingdom."
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
The whole thing with Disney Springs and this alleged gunshot /fight, I think is
right.
I hate to say it, but a cover up.
Right. And there's no way you're going to control that because, unless you have metal detectors at every possible egress into that area.
Sure.
But
and will we see bag checks at Disney Springs when it opens? It might be possible. We might see bag checks.
Maybe. I have a lot of friends, and several of them are in law enforcement, and I don't know many, law enforcement people that go into very many places unarmed.
Mm-hmm.
I think if people are trying to be safe, I get it. I want to be safe in the parks.
Yeah.
But if somebody wants to bring a gun into any place or some other weapon of destruction,
mm-hmm.
if they can finagle away onto the parks,
sure,
they're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be, well, John, if that's the way you feel about it, then let's just have everybody carry guns. I'm okay with that concept because most people I know have a brain.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I understand people want to be safe. I think we should do everything we can to be safe. What I don't understand is, so there's no confusion or distraction. We're no longer going to sell toy guns, including toy blasters or squirt guns. I just think that's silly.
Mm.
The guns that Disney sells are Star Wars, or they're.
Does that include lightsabers?
Oh God, no! Because you can't not sell a lightsaber. One of those little looks like a walking cane with a ball is glowy in the middle of trying to watch fireworks. But like the guns that they were selling in, in Frontierland, they're neon blue.
Yeah.
So we're going to raise an entire culture of kids who are just terrified. Oh my gosh, there's a gun, and we can't even touch it. And I get the safety aspect of it, but I just think that it's silly.
Yeah. Some kid had one of those long rifle guns, and he turned around, and that's when it got the gun in the nads. So.
Oh yeah. Well, and see, here's what I don't get.
And there's been many a lightsaber between my legs too. And,
Right. And
it wasn't my own.
And I took a lot of shots to the face with those stupid selfie sticks, and Disney got rid of them.
Yeah.
But I have seen kids going ape crazy with those stupid lightsabers, and they don't say anything to the kid about it.
Yeah.
There's a lack of consistency there that kind of drives me a little nuts sometimes. I don't want Disney to be a negative place, and I want it to be magical and friendly and happy and all that good stuff. But at the same time, show some consistency.
Yeah. I went to Disney Springs to AMC to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Nowhere at Disney Springs were they doing anything except at the theater. They had some bumbling buffoon. The metal detector's off to the side. This guy says, well, you have to empty your pockets and I have to wand you. Mm-hmm. I said, for what? He says, well, let's see if you have a gun. I can't bring a gun in here, but I can go into every restaurant in Disney Springs? Is that what you're telling me?
No, that's because some guy went crazy and brought a gun and killed a bunch of people in a movie theater.
So I left my wallet. You know my wallet now. It's metal. I left that in my pocket. Nothing went off. So it just proves my point. I could have had whatever I wanted in my pocket, and the guy wouldn't have known anything.
Right.
I don't think this guy was trained on how to use a metal detector wand.
Right.
He wasn't, And he says, can I touch you? And I said, no, you can't touch me.
Yeah, no.
You've been touching people all day. I don't want to be touched by you. So he said, oh, all right. All right, and I went in.
Yeah.
So, either you're going to do it right or you're not going to do it.
Right.
That's my thing on that. Right. So, anyway.
So, yeah. Anyway, there's so much crazy
stuff out there.
We've been promoting this pretty heavily because there's not been a lot of news. But over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, you have a new way to spend money. Crazy. Minnie Mouse and all of her friends celebrate the magic of the movies and glamour of Hollywood with an epic feast at the new Minnie's Silver Screen Dine at Hollywood and Vine at Disney's Hollywood Studios. The all-new character dining experience is hosted by Minnie and all her pals, and this begins just in time for the Academy Awards season. Dinner guests will walk the red carpet and get ready for their close-up with some of the biggest stars of the silver screen. Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy. Is Daisy really one of the biggest stars of the silver screen?
Yes, of course.
They'll all be dressed in their designer best. Mickey will greet guests and pose with them for photographs in the midst of all the glitz and glamour before escorting them and their dinner party, where guests get the chance to meet Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy as they enjoy classic cuisine themed to old Hollywood. The new party at Walt Disney World Resort is filled with dazzling decor, a sweeping musical score, and award-winning food, activities, and so much more. Minnie's Silver Screen Dine runs from January 4th through March 20th, and guests can make reservations by visiting disneyworld.com/dine or calling 407 WDW Disney Dine.
I wonder what's happening in March that everything's ending then.
They're flipping over to spring.
The sky's gonna empty. This is gonna end.
They're flipping over to spring.
Or Star Wars Land.
What are they going to do in Star Wars Land by spring, buddy? They're going to close everything?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to start building something.
So I know that the current offer for Walt Disney World.
Hey, how much is this, Don? Do we know?
It's not in the thing. Yeah, I'm sure this probably is $90 a head. Yeah. It's not in the press release. We got, probably need to check.
It's still a buffet, right? It's not. Mm-hmm. They didn't go to table service. Yeah.
And this is one of those things about Disney that is fascinating and it's a little frustrating. There's nothing new happening in this place. I mean, maybe the food is changing. I'll give you that. But when the Star Wars, they did Star Wars weekends. They did the same concept. Mini Luke Skywalker was there and he greeted people. And then, everybody was shown in, and then they had all the different Star Wars Disney characters come around, and then you had the buffet, and then they had Star Wars themed desserts. It was awesome. And then they did the same thing for Christmas. And now they're doing the same thing for Hollywood, and they're using it for Academy Award season. I think that it's wonderful that they're theming it and making it, special. But it's just interesting. It's fascinating how they're recycling. It's the same thing. It's just different. It's the same room, same food, same characters, same people serving. It's just different theme, different overlay, which is good. I'm not knocking them too hard.
It gives them a chance to change the price point, make more money.
I wasn't going to say that, but I'm glad you did. Speaking of price points and making more money,
I am very interested and glad that this next thing is happening because, one of my missions in 2015 was to go to more Epcot lounges. And I really didn't get any off my list, which was bad. But the original upstairs ImageWorks in the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot is to reopen as a DVC member lounge. Now, as a DVC member, yay for me. If you're not a DVC member, shame on you. And you're not going to get to see this nice place unless you get somebody to take you. So, as part of the 25th anniversary of DVC, and I can't believe it's been 25 years, members will soon have access to an exclusive lounge in the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot. Available in late spring 2016, members will be able to relax and get their member services questions answered in this brand new lounge located in the Imagination Pavilion in Future World at Epcot. The lounge will feature comfortable seating, complimentary soft drinks, and this is directly from DVC, strong Wi-Fi. Not that weak stuff you get in the parks. We're going to amp it up, baby. Strong Wi-Fi, charging stations, helpful member services advisors, computers with printers.
So you can work up there.
Sure. Tony, where are you today? Oh, I'm in the Imagination Pavilion working. Why do you ask? And members can meet up and celebrate their pride for Disney Vacation Club. Listen, like I said, short of a complete rehab of this pavilion, they now have the movie thing and a DVC member lounge. So at least they're repurposing this building for something.
Yeah. And if you're lucky, you can hear the ghost of Michael Jackson. Because that was his favorite place to go.
Yeah.
When he would visit Epcot. He loved to go up there to the Rainbow Room and all that crazy stuff. If you're a DVC member, I have to tell you, they haven't announced everything yet, but there are a couple extra new things that they're doing this year for the 25th anniversary. And it really, if you've not, go to DVC member website. And, they got a splash page there for the 25th. And they got a couple things that they're doing. They got a safari thing coming later in the year. They got some new member mixers and some other things. And they're not even telling us all the things that they're doing. So, I wish there was a way to subscribe to that page. And every time they posted something, get notified. But right.
I think I'm just going to have to keep going back and check it out.
They don't have an RSS feed on that?
No, they don't. We'll have to see what happens because I really think they're going to do a lot of interesting things this year. I am going to try and do something late February, maybe February or March. And I think I may invite some of our listeners, may have a chance to hang out in a DVC. We'll see how that goes. I'm waiting on some confirmation from my DVC friends to see what happens.
Just go to Make a Connection with a Disney Podcaster at lovemetillithurts.com.
My initial dates for January, which I think are going to fall through, and if those fall through, I have to pick some secondary dates.
Yeah.
But You'll want to stay tuned because we may have some a fun event. With limited space.
With limited space, that would
very limited.
We could stay up all night reading from our respective books.
Yeah, because the party was going to be the I think it's 7 or 8. I don't even know. I think it's 8 years of Disney by the Numbers, the book party launch, and then 3-4 years of Disney Parks podcast. I don't know. It was all going to be one giant party just crammed into, one thing.
Yeah.
The other thing I do want to talk about before we leave is we are going to be putting out our annual survey. I'm putting together a little prize package of some things that I have. One, my book. I have a Tower of Terror poster. I have an iPhone case. John's book. I got some buttons. I got some stickers. I got some magic bands. I got a bunch of stuff that we'll put together as a little prize package.
Got a couple old pairs of socks.
I got some old, maybe BB-8. No. No. I have some things that I got tons of kites. If you want kites, I got tons of kites. So stay tuned to our website, our newsletter, and obviously the podcast. And we will probably be doing that shortly.
Yep.
For the month of January. And we'd like to take a little pulse, see what everybody thinks out there.
Right.
It's always interesting to get the survey back. It's fun. It's fun. I like reading them.
So why don't we go ahead and close out the show,
All
and we will do the Star Wars chat afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And if you would like to listen to that, you're more than welcome to stay after. But we'll go ahead and close out the show. I'll edit this part out, but go ahead and close out the show, and then we can put the Star Wars chat as a bonus at the end.
Right.
Something different.
Right. Yep. One last thing too. I want to, if you are interested, and you know somebody that lives in Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong, or Tokyo, we're looking for some people that can toss us some news from those parks. We usually go and get the news ourselves, but there's nothing like having a local knucklehead like us on the ground. That goes to the parks and wants to tell us, 1 or 2, news stories from their local park. There was really nothing. I looked for news from the other parks and there was nothing. Complete radio silence. So if you do know somebody that lives near Disneyland in California, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo, or Hong Kong, and soon to be Shanghai, let us know. You can email us at disneyparkspodcast@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you report the news. All you'd have to do is send it to us via email, a short paragraph or 2, and that's it. So that's it for this week's show. We want to thank you for listening. If you do like the show, please share it with a friend. That's always helpful to us. You can share it on iTunes or Stitcher or Podcast or Downcast, whatever little podcatcher you have. And if you like what you hear, you can visit us at patreon.com/Disney Parks Podcast and support us there. You can sign up for any one of our little programs and get some other goodies and swag from us. So once again, if you want to support the show, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Disney Parks Podcast and check us out there.
Yep.
And that's it. Thanks for listening, and we will see you in the parks. Want me to keep recording, or do you want to?
Yeah, I would say keep recording.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So this is kind of like the show after the show. I think this is fun to do a little bit.
The show after the show after the show.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you're still listening live or if you're listening on recording. I've seen Star Wars twice.
Ooh.
In 3D.
Oh.
How many times have you seen it?
Once. I want to go back to IMAX.
I do as well. I want to go back and see it on IMAX because I hear it's phenomenal.
Yeah. Now, somebody said go see it in IMAX 2D, not IMAX 3D. They said go see it in 2D because it's a better experience. And then he said, it was, I don't know if you listen to the Twit stuff,
Mhm.
Leo Laporte.
Mhm.
It was Lindsay from the Pixel Corps.
Right.
Said,
I was listening to the guys from the Ugly Couch Show, and they were like, "Dude, you got to go see it in 3D and IMAX."
Yeah.
6 of one, half does of the other. But so let's start off with just a simple one. What did you like it? Did you not like it?
I did like it. It was a good movie. It was it was almost a standalone movie. You could have gone and seen this and not know anything about the Star Wars universe, and still, I think, enjoyed this without being a Star Wars geek.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a Star Wars geek, well, this probably revved you up for the other two. I think this movie was a complete setup for the next two things that are coming out. There are a lot of unanswered things that a Star Wars geek would go, well, what,
Right.
and you're like, what the hell? It left you wanting more, which is AKA the reason they had this movie is they have two more they want to give you.
Right.
So I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I thought, listen, I am not a total immersed Star Wars geek. I think you're more, more of the backstory and stuff than I do.
That's just because I'm a nerd.
I wouldn't call you a nerd. I would call you a Star Wars fan.
I appreciate that. I know a lot of nerd stuff, so I would classify myself as a nerd.
Okay. But I thought it was a good movie. I really, I love the story. The storyline was good. The new characters were good. It was nice to see the old characters. Nice to see the new characters. John Williams wrote another great score. Cinematography was fantastic. I know people say there was some things that happened, some hiccups and mishaps in the movie, and mishaps in editing and I said, hey, that's going to happen,
right?
And unfortunately for JJ, that's the problem with Star Wars fans.
Right?
They will analyze screen by screen, shot by shot, frame by frame, every part of this movie and critique it.
Right. Well, and he had the same thing when he did Star Trek. So
right, yeah, absolutely.
I loved it. I don't think it's a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but the first one wasn't a perfect movie. The second one,
right.
And by first one I mean Star Wars: A New Hope, just so that there's no confusion. I am not a fan of the prequels. I understand that they have to exist in my universe, but I do not like them all that much. I mean, they're okay. So I thought that A Force Awakens was a great kind of reboot, which is exactly what it was.
Right.
I thought it was a great reboot. I thought that some of the dialogue could have been a little bit more, it seemed a little wonky, but it was by and large exactly what a movie should be. It should take you somewhere else. It should take you on an emotional roller coaster ride. Right. And it certainly was that. And, if for a Star Wars fan, it felt very familiar because there are so many themes that, in all of the movies, they're mirrors of the previous movies. There was the trench run, there was the Death Star type thing. There was the signature death of the big, huge death. There was the disfiguring of the big bad villain. There was a fall into an abyss. Why the hell do they keep building these things with these 9-mile long bridges and a bridge going over it with no handrails?
Yeah.
What the hell? There's no OSHA happening a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
No magnetic boots, so I can't fall off.
There were so many little things for a Star Wars fan to enjoy. I loved that JJ decided to do so much practical effects, building a full-size freaking Millennium Falcon. Yeah. So that was great. Seeing the classic characters was amazing. The new characters, I could sit, and I don't mean this in a creepy, weird way. I could sit and watch Rey. I can't remember Ridley. Can't remember her last name. Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley. I could sit and watch Daisy Ridley all day.
Yeah, she's got a great way of speaking.
Correct. And emoting with her eyes and her face.
Yeah.
Same with John Boyega. I can never say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Finn, the Finn character. Right. I don't think we spend enough time with Poe, the Han Solo-esque character.
Right.
I don't think we spend enough time to really care all that much yet.
Yeah. Right.
But Daisy Ridley was just superb. She was amazing.
Yeah.
So many great notes.
There was one part in the movie that it took me a couple minutes after it was said for it to catch in my brain that Leia and Hans had a child, and then the statements after that, like the movie went on, I'm like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
I don't want to ruin it for anybody because it is a pretty interesting part of the movie.
Right.
But that took me a second to catch on to what they were laying down there.
When the two moments for me, well, there's three really. The first moment for me was when the theater, after we got through the 5 hours worth of freaking trailers, and I love trailers. I'm a trailer guy, but man, there are a lot of trailers on that. When the theater fully went dark, there was just those two beats, and then I just had tears started going down my face. It's like, this is really happening. I've waited for so long for this movie. So that was the first one. The second one was the big spoiler, and I don't want to give it away. And it wasn't the moment that it happened. It was when this character starts to go to a certain place and screams out another character's real name. And and I'm starting to tear up just thinking about it. It's so stupid. Just the magnitude of that moment that called you all the way back to the very first Star Wars movie. Right. And you realize that, when Ben Kenobi sacrificed himself to let everybody get away, that moment galvanized itself onto a character that you wouldn't think would have made that big a difference. But apparently it did.
Right.
And so that was another one. And then what I call the Apocalypse Now shot, where you're looking into the sun and it's kind of fuzzy, and then it focuses on those TIE fighters coming in. I was like, holy crap, that was awesome. Yeah. It just felt so real. And I loved every minute of it. When we went to go see it on Christmas Day. And the reason we went to go see it in 3D again on Christmas Day is because the other theater was full, and there were only 22 people that paid for the 3D.
Wow.
So I think when it was all said and done, we probably had about 40, 50 people max. So we were all sprawled out and just watched this movie on Christmas Day.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to the next two Star Wars anthology.
Yeah.
I'm also looking forward to the Star Wars main stories, and then I'm looking forward to the anthology series. The next one that's coming out next year, talking about how they got the plans for the Death Star.
Right. I'm
looking forward to that.
Do you? I'm assuming we're going to see more of Skywalker. Yes. It ended with him not saying anything.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, being paid a lot of money to say nothing.
Didn't get paid near as much as Harrison Ford did.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But I think I think the next one's got to start almost there, from that point in time, and then kind of, go from there. And that's the way I would play it. But I'm not JJ.
Yeah.
Nor do I get paid like JJ.
Right. That was the only thing. The ending, it wasn't horrible, but I did, she climbs this mountain, and then she's, standing there. And then, he pulls the thing back, and there's Luke Skywalker. Right. And then there's his look, her look, his look, her look. big helicopter
Big sweeping shot.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going to be standing here for 5 minutes. You know, I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
That was one of the few things where I thought, it could have been a little bit better.
Sure.
But all things considered, it was so good. BB-8 was such a great character.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, Skywalker could say something.
that's Disney calling to shut us down.
Yeah. Hold on.
So this is what happens when you're middle of a podcast and the phone rings. Got nothing, buddy. Yeah, you have a mute button on the. Oh, he got booted off. That's funny. There he is.
All right, is it on now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, if you unplug your mic, Blab just disconnects.
Yeah, Blab doesn't like that. And then you've got that thing in the corner, in the lower left corner. You can hit that as a mute button.
Yeah, I should probably use that from now on. It almost been like he should have said, "This is the Jedi you're looking for," or something.
Right.
You know, there should have been something, and then bam, fade to black.
Or if he'd have just looked at her and gone, Rey.
Yeah.
Well, Rey.
Yeah.
And then just done that. But all in all, it was great. It was great. Worth every penny. And again, I hope it just destroys Avatar.
Yeah, I hope it crushes it and kills it and squashes it and makes blue milkshakes out of it.
Okay, so I don't want to get too deep into this. Question.
Yeah.
Well, quick question. Who do you think Rey is?
Ooh, do I think she's related to a known character?
Yes.
Skywalker's daughter?
Possibly.
The Force is strong with her. And she knows how to use the Force.
She does, which is really weird. That was one of the negative things about the movie. But
I'm going to stick with Skywalker's daughter.
I think I'll just say I think her last name is Kenobi.
Really?
Yes.
You think like a Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Yes. We're gonna
granddaughter?
We're gonna go with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd originally thought that they were gonna play through the twins thing, and we don't know yet that she's a Solo. That's the other possibility, because there's really no Han doesn't necessarily give it away, but then he offers her a job.
The worst thing is that she could wind up being Vader's daughter.
Okay, so we've got some talk in the chat room. No, that was proven wrong online through the canons. Are you talking about the Force Awakens canons or the EU stuff?
Awakens.
I won't say it, but I really dig that dude's name. You read the article online. I've read so many articles online. I don't know. I don't know. But if you read it, hey, I'll tell you what I would appreciate if you would send it over to questions. When you do two podcasts, man, DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com.
That's it.
I'm gonna have to make a note card and put it up here because I got the other podcast in my head, which we go live tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the first podcast is okay. Second.
Do we know if Vader had any kids?
Yes, he did. He had.
Are there little Vaders out there?
Yes.
He what?
Luke Skywalker and Leia.
Yeah.
Those are his kids. That's kind of a big deal about the second movie. I am your father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel, if you would send me the link to that at DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com, that would be awesome. So I got it right twice in a row.
Yeah, that's good.
So
That's good. And
All
then any of the other characters, do we think there's a relationship in there?
I would love to see how Poe Dameron fits into all this.
Yeah.
Disney line 2. They must really be trying to get in touch with him. Crazy, right? So you guys, just a few of us in the chat room. Overall, did you like the movie? Did you think it was a good movie? We haven't really had a chance. We haven't recorded since it came out, so we haven't really had a chance to talk about it. Brian likes the movie.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I thought it was all interesting. I really, I thought the movie technology wise, I thought it was very entertaining. I mean, the TIE fighters. I mean, it's not your 1977 A New Hope.
Felt like it at times. I'm not going to lie.
It did, but I mean, the technology is a lot smoother.
Oh my God, yeah.
It looks a lot better. I was in the second row, and I can tell you it was very loud.
Yeah.
It's a very loud movie. I don't know what it sounded like in the back, but I can tell you in the second row it was a very loud movie.
I'm going to have to go read the books that came out because I want to know more about Captain Phasma. How convenient that there's a weak spot in the planet. That's true. I think that pieces of the old and even the shots or style of the old was a nice touch. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I said this earlier, I think, before you got on. And this is the post-show. We're just kind of hanging out and chatting and stuff. I think we have something we probably need to do at some point. But I thought that if you're a Star Wars fan, there was enough new that got you excited. But there's enough old that it felt so comfortable. So that if you were new to the Star Wars universe, you'd be like, oh, this is really cool. And if you were not new, you'd be like, oh, this feels so good. It's like a nice warm nuggie.
Yeah. Do we know why C-3PO's arm is red?
No. I think it's talked about like Joel was talking about. I think they do mention it in the books. But I love how C-3PO is like, hello, it's me, C-3PO. You might not recognize me, what with the new red arm. And that's it. That's the whole thing.
Yeah. And then he walks away.
And I'm done. Thanks for playing.
Jarvis walks away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice to see, R2-D2 in there too.
Yeah, it was nice. And it was nice to see how it was a subtle thing. I don't know if a lot of people got it. It was a subtle thing how they were taking BB-8, who was this new, he's the new hot toy, blah, blah, blah. But they were showing that BB-8 does fit in because if it wasn't for BB-8, he didn't have that one piece for the map. That was the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are baffled by the timing of when R2-D2 woke up. I don't know.
Is that symbolic or forecasting of something?
I don't know. I don't think BB-8's got psychic powers or Jedi powers, but I'd have to agree with Joel. Joel says, I like how they did it. I think Luke perhaps did it. I think that Luke probably has some prescience, and figured out that when there was enough of the map present somehow that they could figure it out.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't. That's a minor sticking point. If you got to really worry about it that bad, there are so many other big issues. Like how did she know to use the Force on that stormtrooper? How does she know how to speak droid? How does she know how to talk Wookiee? A lot of those things.
Yeah.
I
heard all those comments.
Speaking of,
doesn't everybody know how to speak Wookiee?
Apparently. Speaking of, did you catch the one cameo that I got spoiled and I was looking for him for the whole time and I didn't realize who it was. Did you know that James Bond was in the movie?
Yes.
Crazy.
I read that and I was like, what?
Yeah.
apparently Daniel Craig is a huge Star Wars fan. He wanted in.
Yeah, he got in. He got in a big way.
Yeah.
He got one of the best lines, or at least one of the comic lines in the whole movie.
What was the line?
You'll release my bonds and leave the door open. And he opens the door, and you will drop your weapon, and I will drop my weapon. And he walks off. That's just awesome. I love that.
Wow.
That's good. That was him. I loved it. I love seeing a lot of the cameos. It was nice seeing the dude from Lost.
Yeah. I know. I was reading the credits and I saw his name and I was like, "What the holy mackerel!"
All right, and since it's just us and we're recording it, and this doesn't really, it matters, but it doesn't really matter.
Right.
For those of you who are listening, and if you 2 or 3 guys who are watching, if any of you two keep promoting the idea that Jar Jar Binks is freaking Emperor Smoke, I'm going to come and I'm going to hurt you. I want Jar Jar Binks gone. Misa want him dead set.
Misa, I love you all the time. Jar Jar Binks.
Oh no, it's not necessarily dumb, buddy. Go to YouTube and type in Jar Jar Binks conspiracy theory. Type that in. Check that one out. Because somebody has gone in and done the research and they've watched Jar Jar Binks' fighting style and they've matched it up with different ancient judo and different fighting techniques. And they think that he was a private Sith Lord. Crazy. Oh, look at that. That, my friend.
That I brought back from my mother's house. The original 1977 Star Wars trilogy on VHS.
So that means that there's no tampering by.
Nope. These are untampered by our dear friend George
Lucas.
There they are.
Wow.
And their awesome trilogy-ness.
Nice.
A little there, a little flap there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, these are pre-George screwing with.
George hadn't made enough money yet.
Yeah.
So. All right, so we've been talking a little bit about all the Disney stuff.
Yep.
Yes, supposedly. Well, I know. I've heard that question. I've heard that whole thing explained. I agree with you, Joel. I do believe that he's the guy that Palpatine is speaking of. I'm just letting everyone know. Please stop with the Jar Jar Binks. It's just got to stop. Stop. End the madness. End the madness. So, anything else you want to finish up on the whole Star Wars thing, buddy?
No, I'm good. I'm all out of Star Wars.
All right. So, thank you guys for being a part of the little chitty chat and the show after the show. It was a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do this a little bit more often. I kind of like just kind of riffing, and we should have people come on and chat.
Yeah, we could do that.
What do you want to do as far as this other stuff that we need to talk about?
You want to do like a Google Hangout so you could pull up the thing there?
Yeah.
Use another technology on top of that technology.
Disney Cafe. Share. Hey, you guys need to come to my wife's show Thursday 9, the Disney Cafe. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, she wants to have us. She wants to have either of us or both of us. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I don't mind going on somebody else's show.
Yeah, definitely.
We have her come on ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell her to send us a note. DisneyParksPodcast@gmail.com 3 times.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right. Yeah, let's jump on a hangout.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Have fun. Have a good night.
Merry Christmas.